Hello and welcome back to the Zone Focus channel. My name is Chris. Thank you again for stopping by. And today we're going off the beaten path. We're going back to a place where I said I probably wouldn't go in the future, but considering the circumstances that we're living in 2022 now, I'm thinking about going back. And hold on, let me explain. I'm talking about digital photography. Dun dun dun. No, bullshit. All right, but yeah. And the camera we're going to be talking about is this one right here, the Leica M9. Now, this is actually on loan from a friend of mine. Shout out to Leica. Appreciate it. And this is her camera. This is not my camera. I'll be giving it back to her. She's not giving it to me because this is her baby. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the Leica M9. I've only had it for maybe 3 weeks now. First, I want to talk about the build quality. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of a couple of things about the camera, and then I'll go into actually my thoughts after shooting the camera and how I feel about it. Actually, if it could be something that could be used in the future by yours truly. So let's get into the build quality. Now, the Leica M9 is an all brass camera. This is a brass body camera like you had back in the day with the M2 and the M3. So it's a little weighty, but that's a good thing because it feels very solid. And I'm looking down, I actually have notes. There's not too much of a difference in size between the M9 and the M6. The M9 is slightly thicker than the M6. Okay, so as you can see on this side is the Leica M6 and this is the Leica M9. It is a slight difference in size between the two. But the actual body is not that much of a difference. Now, the grip is different between the two. It is a lot easier to grip the M6 even without a thumb grip. You can always use the film advance lever to kind of help you with that. But because the Leica M9 has a screen on the back and also this kind of like this D-pad, because of that, it makes the grip a little weird to hold. So it is advised that you get some type of additional grip to help you out with that. For this camera, I actually have a thumb grip. This is the camera. Now here's the thumb grip, right? Take the thumb grip and you can put it right there inside of your hot shoe. Of course, if you're not using the flash, it slides into place. Now it gives you a nice place to put your thumb and makes the camera easier to grip. A couple other things that the Leica M9 has is the shutter speed dial is similar to that of the Leica M7, M6, TTL, M7, 8, 9, 10, and now the 11, which was just announced today as of recording this video. So yeah, the shutter speed dial is like that. It is in half-stop increments, and yeah, there's a full frame sensor inside that's made by Kodak CCD sensor. And also the camera has really good battery life. Don't know the battery details, but I know I've only had to charge it like once in the last 3 weeks. I don't know if I haven't shot enough or if the battery's just that good. The other thing that I used a lot, of course, was the Aperture Priority mode, which, of course, unless you have like an M7 film-wise or 8, 9, or 10, you don't really have access to Aperture Priority. So that's something that I used a lot of when I first got this camera because it was just something new. That's probably the most digitized gadget I've used on a film camera. So yeah, Aperture Priority mode. Now there are a couple of things. Well, one thing in particular, the screen on the back of the camera is shit. Okay, it's not a good screen at all. It's no reason to look at the pictures on the screen on the back of the camera because what you see in the camera is not going to be what you see when you actually put the camera, when you put the photos onto your computer. So use the screen for framing purposes. Don't use the screen for trying to see if your colors are going to be right or if your photo looks good or if it's sharp, because it's not going to give you that good of information. Screen is whack. All right. Just a little piece of information. Now let's get to my thoughts. Okay. My thoughts on the camera. Now, using the camera has been pretty easy because it's so close to my Leica M6. I can literally take the lenses off my M6. I can put it right onto the M9 and shoot away like I would with any other film M. I think this is probably the best feature and the best thing for me is that, one, the camera is full frame, and two, it's M mount. So because of those two things, I can change my lenses and I don't have to worry about a crop. I don't have to worry about losing, space inside of my lens or cropping into my lens because of a smaller sensor. I get the same type of field of view that I would get on a film image inside of a digital camera. That's beautiful. You get to see all of the details of the lens. You get to see all of the beauty of each lens's character. And the full frame sensor retains all of that type of information. I will say that I've been using the aperture priority mode, and I don't know if it's just me or if it's like something else, or if I'm just tripping, or I don't know how to use aperture priority mode, but I've been getting either over or underexposed images like every time I try to use aperture priority mode. Now I do use the compensation, and the compensation works to a certain extent, but then I usually forget that I put the compensation on, and then I start taking photos, and then the same thing happens, and I'm just in the same place. Now, the situation I'm pretty sure is because if you're shooting something that's backlit and you have it on aperture priority mode, it's going to read the backlight. It's not going to read the foreground. You have to try to point the camera at the ground, I guess. And I don't know how to use like an aperture or an exposure lock. I didn't ask about how to use exposure lock or if there is one on this camera, but yeah. So I messed it up a lot. So what I ended up doing was actually reverting back to how I use my Leica M6. The way that I used the Leica M9 is I just took it out of aperture priority mode and I metered the way that I would usually meter in any other type of situation. I put the camera up to whatever light source I was trying to meter with or meter to, and then, a darker area, found the in-between ground, shot there. And that worked a lot better for me, and I ended up getting the exposures a lot more accurately using that method. So that's just something to keep in mind. I don't know if I'm just slow and I can't use aperture priority mode. It's too new age for me. But, I just thought I'd add that in there. Now, surprisingly enough, the camera actually produces some beautiful pictures, like really, really nice images. If you look at the pictures on the screen, they look like they're going to be hot trash. It looks like it's going to be garbage. Like every photo that you take is going to look terrible on the screen. I know people are going to ask, well, what does it look like against film? Like how does the camera look against the film picture? And honestly, I don't even really want to go there. Like I don't want to go there. I know people want to hear it and people can talk about it till they blue in the face. Why film is this way, why digital is that way, why they like this more than they like that. And that's what it is. At the end of the day, it's your personal preference. Whichever one that you like, whichever one you think gives you the best value in the art that you make, that's what you should choose. If you think a digital camera can help you produce the pictures that you want to produce, use it. If you think a film camera helps you produce the pictures that you want to use it. And that's all I got to say about that. Forrest Gump reference. What do I think? Do I think that it's worth it as the price, continues to kind of fall off because more digital cameras continue to come out? I mean, I'd use it. I liked it. I think it was really good. The buffer is really slow. If you take like 4 pictures, the buffer is gonna poop on you. So, that's one thing. You got to shoot slower, but I think it's something that could definitely stick around in your kit if you think you have a place for it. But I would also say if you could save a little more money, just get an M10 and call it a day. So I like the M9. I think it's a cool camera. If you use the Leica M digital camera, let me know down in the comments below. Am I missing something with this aperture priority mode? If you have experience, please help me out because I'm lost. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the pictures that were playing throughout the video. And yeah. Thank you all for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. Stay zone focused. I'll holler at you later. Peace.